most tantalizing big-screen sensation to ever hit theater screens. An exciting sensual surround. Death Rulers of Ancient Iceland vs. the Skinhead Mutants. See them wage vicious war against mutant skinheads in a battle to reclaim their rule over the nuclear-ravaged Earth.
The world is overrun with subhumans. I shall smite them with my sword. We shall crush the mutant skinheads and reclaim dominion over the world for ourselves. We are the only rightful rulers of this world, and none can dare overcome us. Be sure to tune in tonight, right here on CRZY, right after the news with Humila-san, and see tonight's new exciting episode of The Adventures of a Small Happy Family.
Oh my goodness, I tell you what, Uncle Western, the baby has been absolutely spastic the past few weeks. So we took him and we had a few tests run. Well, it turns out that the baby is allergic to plastic. So we had to get rid of everything in the house that was made out of plastic. I tell you, Uncle Western, I just don't know what in the world I am going to do.
Oh heavenly goodness, Aunt Becky, the baby has been climbing the walls the past few nights. So we took him and had some tests run. Well, it turns out that the baby is allergic to cardboard. So we had to get rid of everything in the house that was made out of cardboard. I tell you, I just don't know what on earth I am going to do.
Oh my stars, I tell you what, Mom, the baby has been driving us all crazy the past few weeks. So we took him and we had a few tests run. Well, it turns out that the baby is allergic to paper. So we had to get rid of everything in the house that was made out of paper. I tell you what, Mom, I just don't have any earthly idea how we are going to handle all of this.
Oh my, what to do? Here I am. I have successfully survived and escaped a lunatic clown who killed himself. I have gone shopping in a mall, but still the question that occupies my mind the most is simply, why am I here? Why do I exist? Why was I created? I must find my creator to find the answers. I must seek out the one who made me, who brought me to life, in order to learn the real meaning and purpose of my existence. Yes. I must find out why I'm here. This is what I must do.
Hi, I am Imogene Slokowski from the Murgatroyd Times, and tonight here on CRZY I am sharing my editorial column from today, What's This City Coming To? Honestly now, when I was growing up, you didn't have clowns hanging themselves in a public park, much less than having the body viewed by thousands on television while it was hanging there. And tell me this, who was worried about all the workers at the paper doll factory who were put out of a job because some retarded loony burned the place to the ground? We hear loads of sympathy and buckets of tears over a degenerate like Apron Head, and that lame pitiful excuse of a human being Bangle-D-Boop the clown, but honestly now, has the media bothered to ask the widow of the paper doll factory owner that Apron Head fried to death how she feels about all of this? What about all the innocent children who have flashy paper dolls around the house? How emotionally scarred will they be now that their hero has turned out to be a homicidal, suicidal arsonist? Honestly now. By Imogene Slokowski. Hi, little ladies, and all you other art fans out there. This is Imogene Slokowski here to warn you to stay away from the latest so-called art exhibit, and this time the guy calling himself an artist is none other than our local wannabe poser, Blatt Sun. Let me tell you this much, honey, if this crap that Blatt Sun puts out is considered art, then I am the Mona Lisa. And now let me dissect this gutter trash that tries to masquerade as modern art. First of all, the piece called Ballerina with a skin-diseased left leg made me want to regurgitate. But not to worry, the rest of Blatt Sun's exhibit is as disgusting and repulsive as the first painting. Aging homosexual male reminded me of half of the old lechers who hung out in Dead Center Park when I was a little girl. And the only problem is, aging homosexual male bears a striking resemblance to Count Pedestrian III. And since local gossip has it that Blatt Sun was unceremoniously kicked out of Count Pedestrian's mansion, I'll let you be the judge of who you think the portrait was based on. But oh, little lady, it doesn't stop there. No, no. My. The next outrage is titled Lazy Train Engineer on a Rainy Day in Spain. Honey, I have been to Spain and no train engineer I ever saw looked as abject and pathetic as this poor dear soul. I can tell you firsthand that a rainy day in Spain never looked this desolate and bleak. So, my dear art fans, save your time, save your money, and by all means save your eyes. If real art is supposed to be eye candy, this is a bitter piece of the worst licorice ever produced. Blatt Sun, stop insulting real artists by claiming to be one. Go get a real job.
Insane Radio presents Wicked War Tales, a Rich Vernadeau production. Tonight's episode, part 1 of Hitler's Teeth by Rich Vernadeau. Bishop Chiatri knew that the upper echelons of the Third Reich had been heavily steeped in the occult. And ever since leaving Italy for the United States, he had been collecting any German occult volumes or translations of them. Once inside his quarters, the bishop laid the bag of teeth on a small table and took down Aryan Arcana, a huge volume of spells written by Dr. Reichsmuller only a few years after Hitler's death. He opened it to the section entitled Teeth of the Führer, which read, Whenever the sacred teeth of the Führer come into contact with Aryan flesh, pure and undefiled, this flesh will youthен, invigorate, enhance. Even if this Aryan flesh be dead, it will revive and come back to life upon contact with the teeth of the Führer. But woe unto the unclean and inferior races, for if the teeth come into contact with a member of the inferior race, they will immediately begin to devour the base subhuman creature. Bishop Chiatri winced at the blatant tone of the article, but read further on anyway. If any of these teeth are planted in the graves of dead Germanic peoples, the deceased Germans shall rise from their graves and take vengeance upon any non-Aryan inhabitants who cross their path. Indeed, these risen Germans will claim the town or city wherein they are resurrected for the Führer. Bishop Chiatri felt a desire for power burning within his chest. Why settle for just being the Pope, he mused. Why not be the next Führer? At this thought, he slammed the book shut, replaced it on the shelf, and began plotting his scheme for power. And that was part one of Hitler's Teeth. Crazy Insane Radio, episode number 37. Blatson the artist responds to Imogene Slukowski. Good evening, this is Hugh Millitson here at CRZ News, and this evening we are going to allow the artist Blatson, our local artist Blatson, to respond to the scathing attacks on his art show that were delivered last night by local columnist Imogene Slukowski of the Murgatroyd Times. So I want to welcome Blatson the artist here to the studio. Thank you. Thank you. At last, I'm going to bare my soul and maybe a few other things while I'm at it. For you not so gentle viewers, if you've seen my art, you've seen everything. Well, almost everything. Stick around and I'll show you the rest. You know, it's a funny thing. Oh, yes, it is. That wicked slut, Imogene Slukowski, hadn't so viciously attacked my precious little works of art, I wouldn't be sitting here exposing myself to you like I am now. Oh, well, life plays some funny tricks sometimes. I've turned a few funny tricks myself. Oh, yes, I have. But never in my life was I so humiliated as when Imogene, and I won't dignify her by attaching a Ms. to her name, as when Imogene lambasted my art like she did. Well, maybe I was nearly as humiliated that time I was playing the electric guitar with the Emaciated Butterfly Band, and the power went out that time. But I didn't cry the buckets of tears. Oh, the buckets of tears that I did when I read Imogene's column and heard her scathing attack last night. I was as devastated as Rock Hudson would have been if Liberace had broken all of his fingers letting the garage door down just before a big party, and at the same time the loud noise when the garage door fell had also woke Doris Day up from a nap. So you can see, while I'm letting it all hang out, so to speak, just hoping that the catharsis of letting all this out will alleviate my grief. Yes, sweet viewer. You don't mind if I call you honey, do you? Of course you don't. To unintentionally borrow one of that bitch Imogene Slukowski's cliches. Because if you were not the kind, liberal, open-minded person that you are, you wouldn't be here now listening to this trashy self-revelation. Well, voila. You little would-be art critics of the avant-garde, please. This catharsis business is going a little too far, if I do say so myself. But you've been enjoying every little voyeuristic peek into my private personal life now, haven't you, honey? Well, I told you to start with that I was going to expose myself, didn't I? And a good artist never welches on his audience. I think you're an even bigger peeping Tom than I used to be when I hung out in Dead Center Park at night. And that was Blatson the artist here responding to Imogene Slukowski. Thank you.
Recorded live.
This has been Moniper Gdansk here with annual Murgatroyd beauty pageant show. And I have to say, this is the first year we've had an actual live, real, living paper doll waltz down the runway and compete with the rest of the girls. That's right. Flashy the Paper Doll entered the Murgatroyd Beauty Contest. And now, like I do every year, I'll sing our wonderful beauty pageant show song. Prancy, Prancy, Prancy. Dancy, 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 Dancy. Prissy, Prissy, Prissy. Kudos to the little Missy. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's the Billy Baggett Show. Whoa, whoa.
Tonight CRZY will present the new exciting blues pianist and vocalist from New Orleans, the artist known as Vernadeau.
A preoccupation with lighters and fire. CRZY has discovered new video footage from the childhood of Apronhead which reveals a preoccupation with lighters and fire. CRZY has
my plan to find my creator. I will change appearance by wearing a disguise and slip in and out of highly sensitive areas to gather secret intelligence to locate my maker, the scientist who developed the hybrid human DNA and wood pulp which brought me into being. Yes, I will locate and confront the very man who made
me. At long last we finally meet. I must give you credit, Flashy. You are as intelligent as I thought that you would be, as I intended for you to be, as I designed you to be. I knew when I saw the news reports on TV of you walking around Murgatroyd City that it was only a matter of time before you came looking for the man who created you. Well, Flashy my dear living paper doll, you have found me. My name is Dr. Gedrick. Your creation was a top-secret project. I managed to smuggle you out of the so-called paper doll factory minutes before the psychonaut Apron had to watch the facility. My dear, I am certain that you have questions for me, and I will try my best to answer some of them. I cannot reveal everything, as much of it is still classified.
Yes, Dr. Gedrick. I have lots of questions as you can imagine. But the single most important one is this. I am so very tired of being the only living paper doll. I simply must know if there is another one of my kind, another being like
Flashy, I will be honest with you. There was in fact a somewhat similar being created, but he is not exactly like you. The early formula was much heavier on the wood pulp. When he came out, he is thicker and more solid than you are, well, much more wooden. We nicknamed him Wood Pulp Boy, and he roams the earth as we speak. I have no idea where he is, but you can find him. It is quite possible, Flashy, that the two of you are close enough in DNA to be compatible. Yes, Flashy, you were also designed to be able to procreate, to produce others of your kind.
Drifties for the new Ultra Deluxe Super Duper Hot Dog. Over 3 pounds of weenie. And remember, don't just make it a double. Make it a double. Double.
Hugh Millicent here at CRZY News. We are now taking you to a live press conference that has been convened by Senator Devane, the new senator who replaced Senator Quint after his untimely recent assassination. We now take you to Senator Devane. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm sure most of you are aware, there's some sort of a strange creature roaming about Murgatroyd calling herself Flashy, the paper doll. Well, I'm here to tell you that we intend to waste no resources in finding and apprehending this creature, whatever she is. It is the current consensus among the team that I have brought together that this is some kind of a freak of nature that was created by some type of a biotech firm. Now, we don't know who authorized this thing. I intend to convene Senate hearings into investigating whether this is a operation out of the CIA, the FBI, whatever it is, and we're going to find out who created this thing and why. I'm here to tell you right now, though, as innocent as this paper doll might appear to you on television, she is an abomination. She is an atrocity. She is not natural. She is an artificial life form. And when I flipped on television the other day, my aide told me she was in a beauty pageant here in Murgatroyd. I turned on the TV and she was walking across the stage with humans. That was a travesty there. The very idea of an artificial life form competing in a human beauty contest is just, what's the world sunk to, ladies and gentlemen? What is the world sunk to? We're going to find this flashy, and we're going to find out what she is, and we're going to put a stop to this. And if there's any more like her, we're going to find out who made them and why. Thank you very much. No questions. No questions.
Harold. No matter how hard you try. I'm not going anywhere, Harold. I'm not going anywhere, Harold. Ha, you fool. Ha, ha, you fool. You can't get rid of me.
Now,
You
coming
can't
to
get
a
rid of
theater
me.
near you, the most terrifying shock fest to ever crawl across the screen. She would not die. He shot her, he stabbed her, he poisoned her, he ran over her, but she would not die. He drowned her, he burned her, he buried her, but she just kept coming back. She would not die. Warning, no one will be seated during the jolting electrocution scene. No one under 35 admitted. Advance ticket sales available online. Special bags will be provided at the concession stand for those members of the audience
You
who
can't
have
get rid
weak
of me,
stomachs.
Harold. No matter how hard you try. I'm not going anywhere, Harold. I'm not going anywhere, Harold. Ha, you fool. Ha, ha, you fool. You can't get rid of me. You can't get rid of me.
It's a very sad day in Murgatroyd today. The 20th victim of the Murgatroyd serial killer has been found near the off-ramp of the Sawmill City exit near Flat Town. Identification of the female victim is being withheld pending notification of next of kin. Lieutenant Skitters remains in charge of the serial killer investigation. Further updates to follow. I repeat. The 20th victim of the Murgatroyd serial killer was found earlier today.
Well, Lieutenant Skitters, I don't think I have to tell you why I brought you into my office. You're in charge of this Murgatroyd serial killer investigation, and now he's claimed the 20th victim? What the hell is going on? Why the hell can't you capture this guy? Not only that, I've got this highfalutin Senator Devane breathing down my neck now, throwing his weight around, demanding that we go after this Trashy the Paper Doll or whatever the hell she's called. I wish to hell I'd never heard that name. She's indirectly responsible for Apronhead burning down the paper doll factory and for that crazy clown hanging himself in broad daylight in the middle of Dead Center Park. I got a senator demanding we go after a damn paper doll. Look, I don't care how you find her. I just want you to find her. I don't give a damn what you do to her. I don't give a rat's ass if you tear her into 20 million pieces and scatter her to the four winds. I don't care if you glue her to the damn wall. Hell, we can't put her in a jail cell. She'll slide right out from underneath the door. If you got to get a glue gun and glue her to the wall, I don't care what you do with it, Lieutenant Skidders. I just want this trashy paper doll confiscated. I want her picked up. I want her destroyed. I don't give a damn what you do with it. And I want you to find this murgatroyd serial killer. Do you understand me? Do you get my drift? All right, you're dismissed.
Recorded live.
Oh, hello, my dear sweet friends. This is Dr. Hubert Slakowski here once again for this week's edition of the Divine Humanity Cathedral. Oh, my dear friends, I must tell you, Senator Devane is right. This flashy paper doll is not a natural living being. She's not divine like humanity. Humans are divine. She's a creation of man. And since man created her, she is inferior to man. Oh, she may possess human DNA, but God forbid that she should intermix with a human and have offspring. She's a bastardization. She's an abomination. Do not be lulled into this idea that she has rights. She's a paper doll. Wake up, people. Humans are divine. Flashy the paper ball, she is nothing but an abomination. She is nothing but an aberration, an atrocity. All right, my good people, I want to say, have a wonderful and blessed week. And this has been Dr. Hubert Slakowski at the Divine Humanity Cathedral. Goodbye.
Recorded live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and members of the studio audience, and welcome to the new exciting CRZY game show. I know where one's at. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Just before the show, someone was secretly chosen from our studio audience, and they were given an object. That object was placed in one of 20 boxes. Those boxes will be brought out on the stage, and another audience member will be chosen, and they have to determine where an item is at. This is the game show, I Know Where One's At, and that new chosen member of the studio audience has to pick the correct box to win loads and loads of exciting prizes on I Know Where One's At.
Jean Slokowski here from the Murgatroyd Times. My column today is All Men Are Brats. Yes, my dear, all men are just overgrown brats. It's merely the size of their toys that has changed. And they still see you as the meaningless slave to do their every command, to obey their bidding. In short, men view womankind as a subordinate slave race created to keep them happy. And by God, you have been catering to their cyanine whims your entire life, little lady. Wake up, and free yourself from male oppression. You burn your bra, you burned his breakfast. Well now, little lady, it's time for you to burn that document of slavery, that marriage license, and free yourself from the domineering brute who would like to keep you barefoot, pregnant, and constantly in the kitchen fixing him another snack. Thank you. This has been Imogene Slokowski of the
Earlier
Murgatroyd
today in
Times.
Dead Center Park, a group of local skateboarders were protesting in favor of protecting Flashy the paper doll from Senator Devane and Mayor Perenczy. Signs supported Flashy and denounced the senator and the mayor. Another sign denounced Dr. Hubert Slokowski, calling him a fascist.
Wes Tomac here on the scene in Dead Center Park, where a group of skateboarders are protesting in support of Flashy the Paper Doll. I talked to one of the skateboarders earlier. It's like, man, me and my bro, we were like skating through the park, and like Flashy comes walking through, and like, she's a paper doll, man. And I said, whoa, look, bud, it's a walking, living paper doll. And he says, yeah, right. But then Flashy like turns and she like waves at us and stuff. It's like, Flashy's like cool, man.
The preoccupation with lighters and fire. CRZY has discovered new video footage from the childhood of Apronhead which reveals a preoccupation with lighters.
We're going to find you, Flashy. We will find you, Flashy. We're coming for you, Flashy. We're coming for you, Flashy. We'll get 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 you, Flashy. We're going to find you, Flashy. We will find you, Flashy. We're coming for you, Flashy. We're coming for you, Flashy. We'll get you, Flashy. We'll get you,
The preoccupation with lighters and fire. CRZY has discovered new video footage from the childhood of Apronhead which reveals a preoccupation with lighters.
Now CRZY brings you the new jazz novelty hit video Nosferatu.
Talk
the
shit.
collection, but
Recorded
you'll also
live.
get the new jazz novelty hit, Nosferatu. Nosferatu, young Nosferatu tonight. Ooh, Nosferatu, ooh, Nosferatu, Nosferatu, hey Nosferatu, go Nosferatu, hey Nosferatu, go Nosferatu, hey Nosferatu, go Nosferatu, hey Nosferatu, go Nosferatu, hey Nosferatu. Hey, that's ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ra-tu-tu-tu-tu-tu. Hey, Nosferatu, go Nosferatu. Hey, Nosferatu, go Nosferatu. Hey, Nosferatu, go Nosferatu. Hey, Nosferatu, go Nosferatu. Hey, Nosferatu. Hey, Nosferatu,
CRZY will be bringing you an incredible new series, Wicked War Tales. You will see the most devastating and catastrophic stories of all-out combat fury. You will see the explosive battles that shaped all of the many wars in the world's history. Wicked War Tales. Will be bringing you an incredible new series, Wicked War Tales. You will see the most devastating and catastrophic stories of all-out combat fury. You will see the explosive battles that shaped all of the many wars in the world's history. Wicked War Tales. Welcome to tonight's CRZY special on the Murgatroyd serial killer. For 4 long years and now 20 victims, a serial killer has stalked Murgatroyd. The sites where the bodies were found have all been different: a bridge, an old industrial building, parking lots, off-ramps, a number of different remote locations. The only common elements are that the victims are all young females between 25 and 40. Of the Murgatroyd Police Department is the lead detective in charge of the serial killer investigation. Lieutenant Skitters even at one point named Count Pedestrian III as a prime
suspect. So far the only surviving victim to successfully escape the serial killer has been Shimiko Hiramoto, the daughter of Japanese business magnate Fudiki Hiramoto.
Talk shoes. Recorded live.
Hi, this is Les Tomac, live from Dead Center Park, where the protesters today are protesting in favor of Flashy the Paper Doll. And I have seen a group of skateboarders rally together with signs, and I'm going to interview one of those skateboarders now. Hello, young man.
Hello. My name is Josh. How are you?
Good.
Well, I'm going to start out by letting you know that I love your show. I listen to it all the time, dude. All right. Well, I was doing an aerial 360 kickflip down the half pipe the other day, and I saw this beautiful paper girl walking down the street. And, I mean, she was just gorgeous. Everything I ever wanted. And I went up to try to go talk to her, but she ignored me and stuff. Well, you know, I didn't know too much about it, but then I've been hearing about all these senators and people out there trying to, you know, protest her, drag her down, whatever, you know, tell her that she doesn't deserve rights and everything. But she's, you know, she's just as human as the rest of us, you know, dude. Like, seriously, man, I think it's ridiculous that they want to sit there and hate on her, you know. I skateboard for a living. It's not like I do anything special or anything like that, you know. I go and beg for food and shit like that all the time, you know. I don't understand why they're going to hate on such a beautiful girl. She's too beautiful, way too beautiful.
Thank you. That was a skateboarder here in Dead Center Park, and this is Les Tomac, live on the scene. Lead Stuff Gowls, Pop Star Interview number 337. Well, hello again, jaded reader. Today I have Fling Jamerson of the Stud Puppies as my guest. So the press has been having a field day with your love life. Tell us about it, Fling. Well, as you know, my first wife ran off with my drummer. I suppose it could have been a lot worse. She could have run off with the bass guitarist or something, but at least she picked a guy that has rhythm. That's very important, Fling, isn't it? Having rhythm. Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Certainly. For sure. There's all these dreadful people walking around who have no rhythm. I see them at the market, on the subway, walking down the street. I think, my, what abject lives they must have. So, Fling, tell us about your sixth wife who just left you. She told me she needed to regroup her mind and reprioritize her urges. I kind of wish she'd done that sooner. I threw my hip out giving her some of what she couldn't seem to get enough of. A real nympho, that one. Fling, there was some controversy, I recall, about your hit, Why Don't You Get You Some, and Come Get You Some More, wasn't there? Oh, yes, for heaven's sakes. There were all these goody-two-shoes soccer moms who didn't want their little tweens listening to the lyrics, and they created this idiotic overreaction. Yes, Fling, mamas against lewd lyrics in rock. Yes, that dreaded Mahler organization, M-A-L-L-I-R. They started boycotting concerts and record stores, and the bubblegum company that was sponsoring our tour pulled out on us. It was horrendous.
Show, the exciting talk show right here in Murgatroyd City. And tonight, Les Tomac's first guest is the famous or infamous, depending upon your point of view, Flashy the Paper Doll. That's right, folks. No matter what you may believe, there really is a living, breathing paper doll, and she is here tonight making her first television appearance right here on the Les Tomac Show.
Welcome to the show, folks. You're a lively audience tonight, and that's wonderful because we've got a real live one here tonight. Yes, that's right. A living, talking, walking paper doll. We're not kidding. Those reports you heard of Flashy the Paper Doll, walking around Murgatroyd, through Dead Center Park, those skateboarders who are protesting in her favor, yes, ladies and gentlemen, there really is a living, walking, breathing paper doll. And it's Flashy. And Flashy's our guest here tonight. And I want all of you to give a resounding welcome to Flashy. Of course, I'll be asking her questions, and she's going to be talking to all of us and telling all of us exactly what it's like to be a paper doll. And, of course, she's going to focus in on the hard issues, too. The prejudice that's being directed toward her, and the movement that's out there to try to protect her. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's Flashy the Paper Doll.
Thanks for the warm welcome, the warm introduction. You have no idea how risky this appearance on your show is for me. The senator is looking for me. The mayor is out to get me. Gosh darn, I must have a death wish to even show here tonight. Thank you for all the security people, Les. I just hope I can get out of here in one piece tonight. Oh boy.
Flashy, Flashy, Flashy. So glad that you're here, Flashy, and the audience loves you to death. I won't let the mayor get you, Flashy, and I won't let the senator get you either, Flashy. And again, I understand and I appreciate that you took a great deal of risk to be here on my show tonight. And so I'm just going to ask you point blank, Flashy, how do you feel about these people that are against you? What's your opinion of Senator Devane, of Mayor Paransky, of this Dr. Hubert Slokowski? Tell us, Flashy, what do you think about these people?
Since you ask me, Les, I will tell you. The illustrious Senator Devane is a prejudiced jerk. And Murgatroyd's Mayor Paransky is an angry idiot. And this so-called Dr. Hubert Slokowski might as well be a torture priest from the Spanish Inquisition. So do you have any more questions you would like to ask me, Les?
Let's Stuff Gowls Pop Star Interview number 186. We're here, loyal, lovely reader, with Worst Rat of the Antagonist. So tell me, Worst Rat, about your latest hit, You Go, Sweetie. Well, I walked into this little quaint jewelry store, oh yes I did, and lo and behold, there was this cute little blonde girl wearing a trench coat working behind the counter. Oh yes she was. And every time I asked a question, she would answer it back and call me sweetie. Oh, yes, she did. So I ran back to the apartment. I'll never forget it was raining, and I had forgotten a hat or an umbrella or anything. Oh, yes, I had. Anyways, when I got back to the flat, I turned the telly on and started flipping channels. And there comes Wendy Williams, bigger than Dallas. Oh, yes, she was. And she was like schmoozing this gal in the audience, telling her, you go, girl. And I knew in that instance, oh, yes, I did, that I had found the title for our new song. And I started writing it immediately. Oh, yes, I did. I took the You Go from Wendy and added the Sweetie part from the gal at the jewelry store, and the rest just flowed naturally. And I wrote, You Go, Sweetie, in about 5 minutes on the back of an old yellow legal pad.
With Humilit Sun, Les Tomac, and Imogene Slokowski, from downtown Murgatroyd.
Another new video has surfaced from Maplehead's childhood, this one from a department store surveillance camera showing him having a seizure in a downtown store. In a much more upbeat note, a team of new graffiti artists in downtown Murgatroyd are attempting to lift the spirits of a city caught in shock and grief over the unsolved slayings of 20 girls and young women by the still unknown, unidentified and unapprehended Murgatroyd serial killer. Scenes all over the scene, the various locations where the bodies were found, serve grim reminders of the 20 victims during the past 4 years. Lieutenant Skillers continues to lead the investigation. This has been Ronson Kilroy at CRZY News.